Hey, this is Jake. I'm back with another lab I'm doing. Right now I'm creating, oh, you just saw it finish, but running a script to create a bunch of users for the Active Directory lab I'm doing. Here you go. Um, and so it basically took a bunch of automatically generated names, they're not real people, and took their first initial and then finished it out with their last name to create their user accounts. All the way at the top, I have. Oh, that one looked pretty bad. All the way at the top, I have my own right here that I just added to the list just to make sure. But this is a domain controller that I set up DHCP, so each of these users will get their own IP address assigned to them within um, a certain range, a certain scope, I should say. Sorry. Um, It's the 100 to 200 scope of the initial domain controller's IP. And I have DNS set up on this. I actually had to troubleshoot for over an hour on why the DNS wasn't working. Um, it kept giving me error 4013 when trying to access the internet from here, which when I looked that up, it seemed like it was because the DNS service was starting up before the Active Directory service was. So I ran different commands in PowerShell to try and get it to start up after this. Turns out that's actually not what was the problem, even though that's the error it kept giving me. I had set up the DNS wrong, where I set up the IP to basically loop back to itself for its own DNS, and it was never able to reach the internet because of that. It couldn't cache anything. And yeah, it was a huge pain. I just made a mistake while setting it up, and it cost me an hour. But it was useful for troubleshooting and practice. Got it all up and running. Like here, we can now access the internet. For example, GitHub. I use that for some of the scripts I was running. But yeah, able to access the internet from here. Cool. I'll be back once more stuff is done with the Active Directory. Okay, welcome back. So just going to be showing what's been done here. Created a Windows 10 virtual machine client, right, and connected it to the domain controller. Both are running right now, so we're going to go through that. Start out on this on the domain controller. Um, you saw me create a bunch of users, etc., etc. This is showing that the scope that I created for the IPs within the domain. This is the client computer that's running right now. It's connected to mydomain.com, which is just the default name that I added to it. And you can see that the DHCP automatically assigned its IP address here. So it's the first within the scope. You can see the scope here. It's 100 to 200. And if we open here, this is Active Directory. In the computer section, you can see client 1, which if we go back here, client 1 running. So those are connected and working. And then in users, we can use any of these users that were created using the script that I ran, which is the first initial followed by the last name, right? So let's just do any one of these. We'll do the last one, Zvarian. And I just made all the passwords for all these accounts password 1. Not good practice to do that, but just makes it easier for this lab. So if we go to the client computer, see we're not logged in. This is another one that I was testing out earlier, but oops, sorry, a little laggy. We do other user, for example. Oh, you know what I should have done? I should have used the guest key to make it less laggy. But we type zvariant, which was the username we saw earlier, and then we can type password 1, and it's gonna automatically set up. So because it's not set up with anything, you can use this to provision computers for new employees using Active Directory. While this is setting up, we can go over some other stuff. Let's see. Went over this. Yeah, so my admin account that I just made for myself, but it's a domain admin account just to make sure I can do everything in the domain controller. But here's all the users. I already went over that. Computers, you can see this. We're actually going to show that it's using the domain controller as a DNS to be able to connect to the internet once this is done setting up. Perfect, it's done setting up. We can open the command prompt, and we can do ipconfig. You'll see it's connected to mydomain.com, which is the name of the DNS that I use. Default gateway, that's the IP of the DNS set up on the domain controller. And just to prove that we can ping stuff, we'll do like google.com. Right, so the connectivity to default gateway, which is the domain controller. The domain controller is natting it and forwarding it to the internet, and then the ping can come back as an echo right here, as you can see. In fact, we can even ping our default gateway, which is the DNS server on the domain controller, comes back. So that means this is using the domain controller as a DNS server to connect to the internet, and yeah, that's basically the extent of it. It's a cool lab, get me more familiar with Active Directory. Like I said, go through users, all kinds of different stuff, set up DHCP to give out IPs in the scope that I assigned, which is the 100 to 200 range and the 172.16.0 dot and then the range. Yeah, pretty cool lab. Thank you. Bye.